and scholarships in the UK. So I was not really sure if it's everything. So I just gave it an asterisk. So this is just based on my own few tips and should I say research I also did during my master's. So to dive quickly, so why do you need to study in the UK? So this is something everyone wants, like, oh, UK this, UK that. But why should you study in the UK aside from what people have said? So
Hmm.
here in the UK, we have some of the most top universities across the world, like the University of Oxford, which Adebisi graduated from. So we have other universities who are in the top hundreds across the world, all found here in the UK. So it's also host to a diverse multicultural environment where you can see your fellow Africans, people from your country here. You can also get your food back home here at
I can
most
easily go
shops.
home if you want.
Yeah, you can easily go home while still being here in the
Yeah.
UK. So it's a very nice environment. It's just the only thing we always complain about is the weather. So if there is something you don't like, it's the weather that you wouldn't really like here in the UK. So aside that, it also has access to a lot of research opportunities and facilities. So if you're someone that, you know, is very interested in research as well as even career opportunities afterwards, the UK is a place for you. Then most of the courses here are within 1 year. So even courses like an MBA, which is like 2 years in the UK, an MPH, which is a Master of Public Health, is like 2 years also in the US. I said UK earlier. In the US is about 2 years. So these are courses that are like 1 year over here in the UK. So you get the degree within 1 year and use that to do other things that you wanted to do the other year for another thing you wanted to do. So that's just why you need to come to study here in the UK. So you want to go into a master's degree program. How are you going to go about getting admission? What's the application process like? So let's quickly dive into it as some of the requirements. So first of all, you need an undergraduate degree. So whether it's an HND or a bachelor's degree, an undergraduate degree is what you need at least to kickstart the master's journey. So that's why we always tell students have a good grade. Yes, they always say school na scam, or as Nigerians say a lot of times, but an undergraduate degree is a very good place to start when looking for master's admission and even scholarships in the long run. So next, what do you think about? Most schools may require you to have also work experience alongside that degree. So, do you have relevant work experience? Even things like your volunteering experience can count towards your work experience. English proficiency, they want to know, can you come to an environment which is English dominant and interact with fellow students and your lecturers. Even your assignments will be submitted in English. So that's why most of the courses demand an English language test. But there is always a but to everything. So there are ways you can also bypass the English language proficiency test if your department or your schools allow it. For instance, some department may say, okay, your WAEC goes and we take your WAEC. Some department might say, oh, we see that you've schooled in an English language institution. Okay, just let us have a recommendation from maybe one of your lecturers or maybe the school itself, a dean or something that says that you did your course in English language. So these are some of the ways you can bypass that English proficiency test if that comes as a challenge during your application process. So next is your personal statement. So your personal statement is one of the key things, or should I say ingredients that makes your application really sweet. So you have your degree, you have your undergraduate degree, you have your work experience. So how do you bring those together? That is what your personal statement tells them. That this is me, I have an interest, I have a passion to study this course, and this is where I'm going afterwards. So three things I always say for personal statements. Um, the past, where you were uh, in the past, what you've done, then where you are now, and what you hope to achieve during that master's program, and what do you need to do in the future after getting that master's program. So these are the three ingredients that makes up personal statements, no matter if it's called personal statement or statement of purpose. All of them usually have these ingredients of what did you do in the past? Where are you coming from? How does that influence your decision to study for a master's degree in the UK, which is the now? So what do you hope to get in that master's degree? So you write it in your personal statement, and how that motivates you for the future. So they always want you to think ahead, not just you're just coming to get the degree, but they also like you to think ahead. What do you hope to achieve after this master's degree? So for me, it was either to go back into the NGO space or to get a PhD. So as I am now, so you can see I'm now I'm starting my PhD program. So now, after then, you get references. So references are very key. And ABC knows the importance of references as he's attended a lot of conferences, done a lot of grant applications. References are very key also in your master's degree program because who says things about you really matter. You can just say, oh, please, I just help me to write the references. And you don't know what that person writes at the end of the day about you. So you need to be very intentional in who is giving you your references, whether it be for academic purposes or even for professional purposes. So for some master's degree, they might say, oh, two academic references. But some master's degree also says, oh, you can have one academic and one from your work experience or from your professional experience. Then know that not all master's degrees are taught programs. Taught programs means that you go there and they teach you the course, they give you assignments, and that's all. You write a dissertation. Some programs are like, oh, few courses and research, or research from the beginning to the end. So you work on a research from the beginning to the end. So that those courses are called masters by research. So it's not just only masters that third degree, you also have masters by research as well. So you need to research what kind of program am I going into, and is it
Mm.
suitable based on my passion and my interest. So not just coming here to study, at the end of the day you're like, I don't have anything to do with this master's degree. So that's not what we are trying to do here. We're trying to make sure that you are also ready for what happens afterwards from your master's degree. Then documents. Oh my goodness. Documents are key. Transcripts. A lot of us, we finished from undergraduate. We didn't even know we didn't even care. We just, oh, I want to go, like Nigerians, we want to go for NYSC or something afterwards. So that was like the goal. Just get your certificate. But you need to get your certificate, you need to get your transcripts ready. After I finished my what's it called? I think it was during the process of me doing my NYC in Nigeria, I realized I hadn't gotten my transcript and I had to quickly go and do that because I was trying to get as much ready as I can for a master's degree in the UK. Then some programs will require your CV or ask you to manually type it into the application form. So it's either you have a very good CV, this is not a CV workshop, but you need to get a very good CV, and also if you have been asked to manually type it into there, so you know the things you put in there and how that relates to your personal statement you have written earlier. So also, if some programs may say, oh, we need you to upload the references yourself. So other programs will say, oh no, let your referees upload those references themselves. They'll give them a link to do that. So these are things you need to figure out. Who are the people doing this? How do I go about this? How do I get this? So everything should be done before a year before starting even thinking of applying to the master's program. So these are things you need to strategize and get them all ready beforehand. Then you've gotten all these documents, you need to submit them. So some universities have centralized systems, some universities are directly. Some universities may even ask you to pay an application fee. So it just depends which university exactly that you're applying to. So these are things you need to be aware of and watch out for those things. some programs may require an interview. Remember, I said that I didn't write an English language proficiency test, but what did I do? I had an interview with my department alongside a reference that was sent from my working place at that time. So they sent the reference, and I also had an interview talking with the department about my interest in the program. So you've done all that, all said and done. You've had your degree, you had your documents ready. Congratulations, you have been admitted. You seen your email. Oh, you're so excited. Ah, I'm going to the UK. A lot of us then were so excited. Finally, oh, God has answered my prayers. I'm going to the UK. Then, where is the money? How are you going to fund your degree?
The
That's the
most
place
important thing.
comes. So how are you going to fund your degree? That's where a lot of us have challenges. Because someone like me from parents from a low income background, I could never even I could dream, but a dream without something to fund it is like smoke. So there's no need to dream that far. So that's where scholarships came and helped me. So what are the types of
Actually, before you
scholarships?
start
Yeah.
this slide,
Okay.
there's this misconception that there is no funding in the UK. Can you just
Okay.
talk about that briefly?
Okay. Okay. So yes. So people say there is no funding in the UK. I agree with them. I would like, let's say for let's say after the master's degree for a PhD, I kind of like agreed with them that there was no funding in the UK. But the thing is like most people don't realize is that the internet is your friend. Why just go to the internet just for TikTok or Instagram or all that? You're planning for your future. Why can't you make your Instagram your internet your friend? You have YouTube, which has the platform for almost everything that's been discussed on YouTube. So even if it has not been discussed, it should have been written in a blog somewhere. So that's how I was able to know about the Commonwealth Scholarship. And also from friends, my senior colleague had also studied in the UK for a master's degree and Commonwealth shared scholarship. So these are ways you can know about those scholarships. Go to the university website. I want to study. Oh, I want to study in University of Oxford. Ah, you shout. Ah, tell your friends, I want to study University of Oxford. But you've never gone to the website to check if that university has
Right.
funding available for you. So
Mm.
these are some of the things that people do, and they just relax and say, "Oh, UK." They say UK doesn't have
The
funding now,
funding.
so I've given up. I've
Mhm.
left it for the people that want to try. And
Right.
you come here at the end of the day, you struggle to pay your fees. Hmm? The 20 hours sometimes is not enough because you need to rest. The 20 hours working time, you need to also rest. At time assignments can be very intense. Like in Oxford, I think it's 9 months for the degree
Yeah.
instead of the 12 months, which is like, so imagine that kind of thing. Your presentations, you're doing assignments, 4,000 words and above, and like you have to submit those things on deadline, and you're also working. So why not use the internet to help you, first of all, to search for these scholarship programs and have them all settled? I know that these are the ones I can apply to, these are the ones that I can get from the university or even from other sources. So that's why we need to talk about the types of scholarships and how they're available.
And
I,
if
I
you
hope
don't
I,
apply,
yeah,
if you don't apply, you won't get it.
exactly.
And there's no specific group of people that, oh, this group, they are the one that can get funding, they're the one that can get scholarship. It's about the information that you have access to. And that's what we'll be doing now. Thank you very much, Archibald.
Yeah. So continuing from that line, you now say, oh, what are the types of scholarships that are available for me?
Mm.
So some scholarships are based on your academic achievements. Some are merit based. Oh, I have a first class in my university. There are some scholarships that are meant for those kinds of person. But that does not mean that it's only academic based. Merit based scholarships are also for outstanding students in other areas, such as the
Yes.
Chevening Scholarship, which
Mm.
prioritizes work experience over your academic experience. So you, at low as 2-2, I think, at
Yes.
DBC, is that right?
Right.
As low as
Right.
2-2, you can apply to get the Chevening Scholarship. Even Commonwealth Shared, which I got, as low as 2-2, you can apply. The only thing is that you need a
Masters.
postgraduate degree alongside that um your undergraduate degree, which you
Yeah.
had a 2-2 in. So these are the things you need to know. But if you do not go to the internet to search. How would you know? If you do not ask people, how would you know? Nobody has all the information on their fingertips. You just need people or information online to access that and know that this is what I can get. Some scholarships are need-based for people with financial need. So people that cannot afford, to study without those scholarships. Some of these scholarships may not even be fully funded. They may just be, oh, only tuition. We offer you tuition and you sort yourself out maybe with your 20 hours per week for your stipend. So some scholarships are like that. Some scholarships say, oh, we funded you your tuition, we funded you your stipend. It's up to you to know how you come to the UK. So you see a lot of people going on the internet shamelessly to ask for help so that people can help them with flights and other things.
Right.
During my PhD, my scholarship was just what's it called? The tuition and the stipend. I had to reach out again to the school that I cannot come to the UK without, more support. And the university assisted me with some support. And I was also able to get some support also from my colleagues as well that I requested at that time. So these are things you need to know. The information you have, which is online from the internet, and also from the people who are in your circle. So how can you utilize those kinds of persons? So then you move on to subject-specific scholarships. For instance, you could be like, oh, this scholarship is only for people doing an MBA. If you are not doing an MBA, we can't give you a scholarship. So how would you know this? How would you know this if you do not go to that specific department to check on the page? Even in Oxford, which are Davisy schooled in, there are some department specific. Oh, this is from the School of Public Health. We are the ones giving this scholarship. So you will never know that if you don't check. If you don't check those things, then we have research scholarships. So, as I said, some master's degrees are masters by research. It's not just taught programs. So some scholarships may just fund that 1 year of research that you do. Some even extend it up to for a PhD level. So they may just say, come and start with the masters, and then you move on for a PhD later on. So these are things you need to know. Institution-based scholarships are there. Even for me in my PhD, it's an institution-based scholarship. So the Vice Chancellor Scholarship. So these are things you need to know. Just meet people, ask. So as I put it by the side there, these are some popular scholarships that, a lot of people maybe know about. I know this is not an exhaustive list. That's why I said everything you need to know. It's not really everything you need to know. I'll just highlight some things and you go on and do your research. So I've told you scholarships, how to apply. As is with your admissions process, you need to review the criteria. Some department may say, oh, we want someone who has a second class upper. We don't want someone who has a second class lower. Some departments say we want any degree, any grade. So those are the things you need to know before even applying also for a scholarship. Does the scholarship want people with first class? Does the scholarship want people with 2-1? Does the scholarship want people with, 3 years and above experience? What are the eligibility requirements of the scholarship? For Commonwealth now, you check online, you type Commonwealth shared on Google. Immediately, you would see the page. You click on the page and you check the eligibility requirements. You even find how they even grade for an excellent application. They have it there online. So if you do not do these things, if you do not go online to check, how do you think you would know? How do you think you know? Because someone cannot just have time to just sit down with you and start going through all the scholars, except that person is an angel. But I don't really think there's anybody that has such time to go over with you one by one for each scholarship. It's really, really difficult and people are busy. So these are the things you need to know. Go there to the website, review the application, review the eligibility criteria for that scholarship, and then prepare what you need. Commonwealth scholarship now, I think it was 11 essays that we wrote for Commonwealth. So imagine 11 essays and you have just like you discover the scholarship 1 week to the deadline. Can you imagine that kind of thing? So how are you going to go about applying? So most of the time, someone like me, I always like someone else to have a second eye over what I've written. So like, let's say it matches maybe grammatically or maybe more coherently so that another person will read it. So those are the things you have to figure out. Do you need someone else to review your work at the end of all this, your essays that you've written? So you need to give time so that the person will review and get back to you, and then you now upload those things on the website on the scholarship website portal. So these are things you need to be mindful of. You need time. As I say, sometimes people start preparing for scholarships 2 year ahead before even maybe they are still at their undergraduates. A lot of people start preparing right there at their final year of undergraduate studies. They start preparing. So you've gotten this information. You've come to this YouTube page now of ADBCs and you've seen this information. What do you have to do? You have to start now to start looking at those scholarships. At least you just rewind to the place where I put those popular scholarships. Put one in Google and just have a search. I think ADBC should have also talked about some of these scholarships.
Yeah.
So then you move on to your references. The references you had in your
So
master's.
the
Sorry.
earlier the better.
Exactly. Exactly. The earlier the better. So you move on to the references. The references you've done for your masters. Have these people at your fingertips. Let them be people you can easily reach out to. Don't let it be like after the masters, you forget about them just because of they've helped you gain admission. So you've forgotten about them now. You
Mm.
also need them not just for the scholarships, but even also later in life. You don't know where you might meet most of these people. One of them was my undergraduate. It was not even my supervisor for my undergraduate degree, actually. It was just my exam officer, but it was someone who I was able to communicate with from stars. He wrote these references from me. PhD as well. He was also one of the people who wrote references for me. So these are some of the relationships you need to keep along the way. Don't just terminate it just because of you had master's admission and you feel like that's the end of the world. So
Mm.
try to keep those relationships. And ABC knows the importance of relationship. Maybe you can just throw one or two sentences about the importance of relationships in this journey.
I
Do you
mean,
want to share?
yes, of
Okay.
course. I mean, it's always very, very important for you as an undergraduate or as a recent graduate to have someone in your school or in a professional life that can actually write a strong recommendation letter for you, because it's not always about the name. Some people might think, oh, it's only professors that can give me a letter, or it's only some, or maybe certain group of people. It depends on the kind of relationship that you have with the person. Imagine if you are asking for a recommendation letter and that person just wrote, Yusuf is a good boy, he's a nice guy, he's always coming to class. This kind of uh like low level recommendation letter. Let me call it that. So you need someone that can write you powerful recommendation letter, and that means that you need to engage with that person. You need to try as much as possible to get along with the person in terms of your professional life, what you have been doing. And in fact, they should be able to speak highly of you. And that would definitely show in the letter that they're writing for you. So if someone wrote a recommendation letter that is so basic, that is not really communicating anything about you, then definitely going to affect your application. So you want to get your letter from someone that can speak highly of you, that can speak about what you've done, that can speak about your experiences. So try as much as possible to identify at least 3 persons from maybe your school or from where you work that can actually give you letter for your graduate school. You don't want someone that will just write, oh, he's a good boy, he likes doing this, he likes doing that, without putting strong evidence to support anything that they've written about you. So you have to try as much as possible to get them ready now and try as much as possible to engage with them. No, it's not that when you want to apply, sir, I want to apply for graduate school. I want to do this. So without having any good relationship with them or without engaging with them before, for them to be able to write good things about you. So that's not how it works. So you need to form that relationship. And if you are still in the university, please start eyeing some people that you know that okay, you engage with them, they know about you, they know about your career progression, and you inform them that you are interested in graduate school. And you, of course, you check on them maybe every month by sending maybe letter or checking from them from time to time So just make sure that you don't just reach out to people all of a sudden that you need letter, because it doesn't work that way. So you need to build that relationship. So try as much as possible to nurture relationship, and it will be a lot more easier for you to get letter, or for you to request for letter from them. So build that relationship, form that network, and as well try to engage them with your career progression. Let them know what you are doing, and they're always happy to help. They're always happy to actually support you. So even if you have bad experience with some people, you can also reflect. Do you really have good relationship with this person before you ask for letter of recommendation letter? Letter of recommendation. So try as much as possible to think about the kind of person that you think will be good for you to get letter from. And for me now, I got from my university, but it was my supervisor for my project, my course advisor. So it's highly dependent on how you engage with them, and that will make it easy for you to be able to reach out to them when you need letter, because this journey you need quite a lot of if you apply to many schools, then you need letters, not just one letter of recommendation. You need to get letter from time to time if you apply to many schools. So you don't just want to get letter from someone that is not qualified to give you that letter, because it will show in the letter. So try as much as possible to nurture relationship with people that will give you a strong recommendation letter. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the reason why I asked ABC to buttress on this is because he's someone who has, you know, done a lot of applications. So imagine you not having that relationship and just all of a sudden, please, can you help me write this letter? The person doesn't know you. The person doesn't know what you've been up to. He doesn't know, as ABC said, doesn't know your achievements, what you've done. You've never
Right.
updated the person about your professional life, that this is what I'm going through. You don't even have the person
To
like
ask for letter of
we exactly. You don't even
recommendation.
have the person within yourself. Like, oh, on those person's special days, let's say his birthday, you never even reached out to say, oh, hello, Sal, happy birthday. I saw today is your birthday. These kinds of small things build relationships very practically. So those are the things you need to know. Then proof of achievements. You've had a lot of achievements, you've done this. Are you noting those achievements down, or you just go to award nights to be collecting awards without writing those things down? So those are the ways you can write as a pro. They told you that, oh, you were very you were commendable on so aspects in the award night. They gave you an award. You never wrote that down. You never had that down in your mind. So these are the things you need to know. That those are the proofs of achievements you'll be required to upload or write during your scholarship application. Then you have prepared this application, you prepared your 11 essays of Commonwealth, you prepared your 11 over some essays of Commonwealth, you prepared your references, you've written your proof of achievement, you've written everything. Now, do you need someone, as I used to say, do you need someone else to review your work? Are you an expert in writing? If you are not an expert in writing, you need someone to review your work. So have that time, space for that person to review and also get back to you so that you can then submit. So submitting now, you have to follow the specific guidelines. That's why YouTube channels like this and webinars like this are very, very nice, because you can see they'll tell you, oh, for question one like this is how you need to do it, this is how you write it. Even on the scholarship website, they might tell you, oh, this is how we rate an excellent application. Like Commonwealth, they have one is it Word document or
Yeah.
PDF where they show
Right.
how they rate those excellent applications. So you can say, oh, an excellent application has a very good this. You note those things and how you fit it, how that thing fits into your work so that you represent well, and then you hit submit. So don't wait until it's one day to the deadline before you now submit. You wait until
Exactly.
one day to the deadline, you now submit. Those things don't work. What if you don't have a very solid internet connection and you miss out of the application? So these are things you need to know. So
You know, the
keep
internet can be
up.
funny sometimes. On the website,
Exactly.
the website can act up or something. Anything can
Exactly.
happen.
Exactly. So these are things you need to know. So if you don't submit before, at least weeks before the deadline, submit. Don't wait until if it's 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before. So if they say it's deadline, let me follow the deadline. So those things don't work like that. Then keep track of your application. whether you've gotten acceptance, whether you've gotten rejection, keep track of that application status. Even if it's a rejection, try to understand why were you rejected and how can you improve later on. Because one rejection is not the end of the world. There are people that have applied for these scholarships 5 times before they now finally got it.
Right.
So it doesn't work for everyone at once. So I applied once and I got it once. I applied the same time I applied for this Commonwealth scholarship is the same time I applied for Chevening. I didn't get Chevening, even though I was up to the interview stage. I didn't get Chevening. So these are the things you need to don't put your eggs in one scholarship. You say this is my putting my eggs in one basket. Don't do that. Diversify, apply to other. So it might even be at the end of the day, is your school that even gives you a scholarship, not even the other ones you were even more passionate about writing. So these are the things with putting your hands wide and applying for a lot of scholarships. Like Commonwealth, for instance, since this is my my area. So Commonwealth, you can apply to a lot of schools around your same course. So it's just to be modifying the essay. So when you apply to a lot of those things, you have more opportunities to be given the scholarship. So you can have like let's say 2 offers and you decline one, and another person gets that one. So these are the things you need to know that don't just put it, oh, because of I'm applying to Commonwealth, I just applied just one and expect that I'll have a good outcome. You're not the only outstanding student. Sorry to bust your bubble. There are always people in this life that will be better than you, whether in your workspace, your professional space. There are always people that will be better than you. So how do you keep up with them? You need to know that there are some things you need to do so that at least you are, even though you are far behind, you are not so far behind from them. So learning how to diversify, putting your applications in other scholarships is really, really key. Then any
Actually, but
requests from
I even in this time, like I mean, this current application round, you definitely don't want to apply to one schools or one scholarship or one program because it's getting really competitive every year. I want you to comment on that. Application
oh,
getting competitive.
it's really a war zone now to get a scholarship.
Exactly.
It's really a war zone. So if anyone earlier on were like, oh, I only have like me for Commonwealth, I applied to only three. Someone was now telling me, was now saying, hey, boy, Archibald, you applied to only three. I said, then and now are not the
I,
same thing.
I
The number
seriously.
of people who are graduates from university are increasing every year. There are lesser job opportunities every year. The job market, whether it's in the US, whether it's in UK, whether it's in your Nigeria, whether it's in any country in Asia, is getting tougher. Nothing gets easier because this is life actually. Nothing actually gets easier. It just gets tougher and you just have to get tough with it to meet up with what's going
And the
on.
kind of capacity that young people are building now.
Like look at my junior colleague Isaac, who is a friend to, or should I say, I don't want to say mentee. I don't think you guys have that relationship, but still, he's someone who has a lot of friendship with Adebisi, and the kind of capacity he's built, like as an undergraduate, I don't think I've built 1/10 of that capacity as an undergraduate student. I don't think like I used to look at him and I'll be like, wow, are these the new public health graduates of today? Like I can't even compare. Sometimes I would just be like, wow, these are the people that are coming out. So imagine those kinds of things, like even your junior colleagues that from
Right.
back then in university are getting more capacity than you could ever dream of because of access, information. So if you don't have
Exposure.
any of these things, it's really
Mm.
tough. It's really tough. There's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can say than that. Just keep building that access, building that network. They say your network is your net worth.
Right.
So it's really, really true sometimes because
Mm.
the access that you get from people, it's really important to nourish that access so that it can give you more opportunities because that's just the way to meet up with these things.
So
So
don't apply to
yes,
just one program,
yes, don't apply to one program.
one scholarship. Try to
Apply to one
diversify.
scholarship and expect a miracle. Yes, miracles happen, but it may not really happen in your case. So that's that on that. Now, you've applied. I just wanted to share just some tips, success before we call the session a close, and maybe if there are any questions or something, I don't know. So, as we've all emphasized, start early. Start early. 2 years ahead is not is even small, because you also, aside from your academic coming out with the first class, you also need to build professional experience. How do you build this professional experience? Do you think time waits for you? You have to build it from your undergraduate days. Those organizations that are looking for people to volunteer, even if they are not looking for people to volunteer, go there, carry your CV and say, I want to volunteer here, as long as it aligns with what you want to do in the future. So even if you're an undergraduate in your second year watching this video and you're saying, it doesn't apply to me now, I'm still in my second year, start now. Start now. Because that's when you start. Those experiences, those volunteering experiences that I was like, it was doing like as if I was just forcing myself to be involved, to be doing
Mm.
those things. Things were actually the ones that spoke for me during my applications. And when you write those things, they can easily go back to verify. They go back to your your social media pages. At times, you never know. They go back to your social media pages where you posted those things, your LinkedIn, and say, "Oh, did he actually do this?" Because now it's not just about saying you did it, but where is the proof that you said you did it? You've been volunteering, you've been having activities, you've never posted anything online because you are maybe scared of what people will say. You can just keep it as a documentary. You remove the comments if you are scared of people's opinions. You remove the nowadays you can off comment section and just
Right.
upload it as a memory for yourself.
Mm.
So those are the things you need to do. Don't just say because I'm in my second year or something, or I'm just starting volunteering. There's no need to be posting those things. Post them. Let people know your work. Let
Build
people
online
know that this
presence.
is exactly. Let people know this is what you are doing with your life at that point in time, so that you can easily have a proof when they say, "Oh, you volunteered in so organization as a program lead." They'll go and check your LinkedIn or something or your Twitter. Where did he volunteer? Where is the pictures? Where is what he did? So even things like organizational records, for instance, your name, they put reports. They put your name also in the reports. Those things can serve as proofs of the work you've done, not just saying, I don't want to do, I don't want to post online. You don't need to be a photogenic person to post these things online. You don't need to be a photogenic person. So please start early to prepare well in advance and then showcase yourself to the world. Because when you showcase yourself to the world, then the world can now tell you, this is what I have for you. And then you can now start going in and reaching out for those opportunities that are out there. Another thing is to stay organized. You might need to maybe have a Word document or something that keeps, or an Excel that keeps track of your application. So anyhow you need to do it, just do that. Let's say you need to get passport. Outline the steps you need to get passport. Oh, I need to get passport. What do I need? I need money. It's not free. I will not go there and they will hand me the passport. I need to get money. How do I get that money? You need to start thinking of those kinds of things. Which passport office will I go to? Which one is easily accessible? Which one usually gives it on time? Those are
Mm.
the things you need to know. That's why they say your network is your network. Because if you have people who have done all these things, it's easier for you to say, "Oh, at ABC, where did you do your passport? I'm also in Ibadan. Did you do your passport in Ibadan?" They can now tell, "Oh no, this is not where I did it, but you can go here." And that would save you a lot of stress that you might have encountered at that other location. So please always, as much as you don't want to tell people all your plans, but your close friends, the people that you see that are also on the same journey with you, try to let them know these things. That some of them have even gone through those processes and made it easier. So you can, like Adebisi is doing now on his YouTube channel, making the process easier for a lot of students coming up, because during his time, that access was not really there. Just a
Right.
few people that were able to give him that access, but now he's doing it for free on YouTube. So why would you now say that there is no information? I cannot go on. What can would you say such a thing in this generation? But you can go on that Instagram and post your picture where you went on a date. So these are things, priorities matter nowadays. So stay organized. You know you want to do TB test. Get those information. You need to do a visa. Will my scholarships cover my visa? My scholarship didn't cover my visa. So these are the things I need to know for my PhD. These are the things I need to do, and I needed to do them fast. So after being organized, you also see guidance. Talk to other people who have gone before you. They've gone before you. Even if one person says they don't want to grant you that access, another person will grant you that access. That is what I've realized in this life. If one person says, oh, sorry, I don't have time. Yes, they may not have time, but that does not mean you should be, because of this person said, I don't have time to help. So you leave your future
Exactly.
just because of that. And if you see, do you have anything to say about this before I go further on this guidance issue? Because a lot of people take mentorship and they want
Mm,
everything to be a formal mentorship relation. There are some
mm.
people you just take advice from the journey. So if you can say anything about that, that would be really great.
Yeah, I mean, as young people, one thing that you need to know is that you need guidance, but you don't need people's approval. There's a difference between the two. Looking for guidance and looking for approval. If someone says no, you can move to another person, or you can do your own research and try to gather information as much as possible. Give yourself that exposure to the network or to group of people that will make it a lot more easier for you. I know many people say no to me, like when I was applying to Oxford, give me that, but they said no. But that doesn't mean I'm angry with them. I'm not, because I understand that at that time they might be very, very busy, which I understand that, okay, actually, you also know how things can be. So, but what
Exactly.
is important is that they are not the only person in the world. Of course, you can reach out to other people. You can reach out to people to support you. You can go online, watch YouTube video. What you need is guidance, not people's approval. Even if they say no, that doesn't mean that you should end your dream. That doesn't mean that you should not apply to that school again. That doesn't mean that you should give up that, oh, there's even no one to support me. Don't say that. What you have to do is that continue to strive, continue to build your network, continue to reach out to people. And even if it's just one tip that you're able to get, that one tip can actually transform the whole process for you. There's something like during this Oxford interview, there's a particular question that they normally ask. And they have been asking this question for the past 2 years. So when people come to me that, oh, you should give us tips, I'll just mention this thing to them. And that thing, they don't even take note of it before they go for the interview. And when I just give them that few tips, okay, they might ask you this question. They've been asking for the past 2 years. They just come to me, oh, thank you so much. They ask the question. Just that information is able to help someone. So what you need is not everything that you need bulk of or too much information. What you need is transformative information, just something as simple as anything that can give you clue, that can give you insight. And if that is not coming from someone, it can actually come from your own research as well. And of course, your own network. So continue to build your network, continue to ask for help as much as you can. But what you need is guidance and not approval. You don't need people's approval. So if they say no, that doesn't mean that you should end your dream. That doesn't mean that you should not apply to the university again. That doesn't mean that you should not, that you give up, oh, I don't even have any support. Don't say that. So just continue to strive, continue to look for more people, continue to expand your network, continue to look for avenue or opportunities like this to learn from other people. But that doesn't mean that this is an approval. It's just something that is supporting you, that is adding to the wealth of information that will be useful to you as you're applying for graduate school. So what you need basically is guidance, but not approval from people. So if they say no, or you don't see them giving you green light to support you, then you can go online, go on YouTube, ask questions, build more network. There are many people, there are many scholars. I mean, every year we have about, I think about 3,000 Commonwealth scholar. In my own time, it was about 3,000 Commonwealth scholar in the whole of UK as at that time. So, presently we have different scholars that can actually support you. So you don't need approval. If you don't get the support, what you need basically is to search for more information as you want, and also to reach out to more people to guide you, and also giving them time. I know someone that has sent me his application now. He has written his SOP. Application has not even opened for admission. He has written everything. He has sent it to me. So
Wow,
I have enough
wow.
time to review, to go through it, and give feedback to the person. So that's how it should be. So also, you also need to understand that you need to be strategic in the way that you ask for help as well, and people will be willing to support you. So imagine that person now. I'll be able to, I've even started, I'm going to give that person feedback very soon. So that's how it should be. So you don't need approval. What you need basically is guidance. So if you don't get the guidance, keep looking for more guidance everywhere, and that will definitely help you in your application journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really, really helpful information. Also, the people you have to meet do not have to come from that specific program. It could just be another person in the same university who got that scholarship. Don't say it must be the same program, the same department. Why? Why? You just need someone to just give you tips. If you need someone that is specific, then go for another person, maybe in another university that is in that program. Person might even give you much more helpful guidance than the person who said no at that point in time. So don't take no as the end of your story. That is not the end of
Right.
your story. You have the pen to write your story. So keep writing your story. Don't use somebody's no and just end your story like that. So that's very helpful. So please also, while people are saying no, try to understand the reasons why they are saying no at times. Because sometimes it might be you've not done your research. A lot of things are available on the internet. That's why I said the internet is your friend here. A lot of things are available on the internet. You are telling someone you want to apply for, okay, an ABC post on LinkedIn now that, oh, the Commonwealth Scholarship is open, please apply. Do you know some people still write, I'm interested under that post? Oh my goodness. Some people will still write, I am interested under that post. And you ask yourself, like, why are you wasting time to write, I'm interested? Just like the post, click on the link and move on. Start your application. What is I'm interested has to do with you getting the scholarship. So these are things you need to, a lot of things people just waste time and not take action. You ruminate over it on your head. This also applies to me too a lot of times. I ruminate over things over and over in my head without taking action. So that's what I realized. Once I just start, no matter how hard it is, I just start on my Word document. I have started. I will be able to complete it. So, but if you don't start those things like that, those little baby steps, you can never take the bigger steps up there. So please don't pester anybody if they don't want you to. If they said no, then move on. Or if they say, oh no, not at this time, but can you give me some time? Give them that time and remind them again. Some people just need just start push. Oh, this person reminded me, oh, let me down do it now. And you do it. So when you are done in all of these things, please apply, 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 apply. See, we can't, Adebisi will, if Adebisi can shout on your head, Adebisi will shout on your head with that word. Because if you don't apply, you will never receive feedback of what you did wrong.
Right.
Even if the scholarship doesn't give you specific feedback, you can bring that to a scholar who had gotten the scholarship in that period. Scholar can now review and say, no, you didn't do this one well. Oh, maybe you should have said this in your interview. I think this is what you said. This was wrong. Oh, I think you should have added this. It seems you didn't make a strong argument. Those kinds of things, review after getting the rejection helps you to move on. So thank you so much. Why is my thank you slide not showing? Yeah. So thank you. That's all I had for this session. I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. I hope I've not stepped over 5 o'clock. Oh
No,
yeah,
no.
I have
Thank
few
you.
minutes.
Yeah, for question and answer. Thank you very much. I mean, you are able to give new insights, I mean, perspective that will be useful to prospective applicants because most application we open, I think, in the next few months. So
Yeah.
this is really, really helpful. Thank you very, very much for your, I mean, for giving us that insight. So now they have more questions. I have a number of questions I'm going to read out now from my channel. Um, okay, I am a final medical student and I want to pursue my master's degree soon after accomplishing my undergraduate. Is it possible to kickstart my application while I am in my final year?
Okay. Should I take that or you read that? Okay, let me just take it.
Yes, do you get the
So
question?
yeah, so they're a final year student in medical school. So they want
Yes,
to know if they can kickstart the application right now as an
right.
undergraduate. Kickstarting your application does not actually mean you need to submit the application. Kickstarting the application means getting your documents ready, your basic documents, your passport. Do you have a passport? Even before getting to final year student, as someone who is interested in his or her professional development, you need your passport ready with you at all times. This is one document you need, whether for scholarship, as long as you know that I would be leaving this country, even Ghana here, Ghana next to us in Nigeria, you need your passport. So these are the things you need to know. Passports, then your transcripts. You want to get ready. You don't need to click submit to submit the application. Like that person did now with Adebisi. They sent their SOP to Adebisi now to review. So these are ways you can prepare. If you say, like you're a medical student, you want to do a 1 year internship, are you considering that? Would you do that? Or do you want to just have this experience of just applying? So if you are considering doing that 1 year school, I think you might just apply and just see what comes out of it to have the experience because you have the documents ready, everything ready. So I don't know if there's anything you want to throw there at DVC.
Yeah, I mean, as final year students, the whole process of application for graduate school actually starts while you are still a student. That's how I like my own assumption because that's where you're going to write maybe different stories, different things that you've done, your journey, and everything actually counts. So when you're already in your final year, I mean, if you have all the documents ready and you think that you can prepare a strong application, you have good experiences that you can refer to, and things that you've done and things that pique your interest to pursue graduate school, then definitely you can apply. So far you have all the documents, everything is ready. You can get recommendation letter, you know the scholarship that you're applying for, you know the program that you're applying for, then definitely submit the application. But for that person is not from Nigeria, he's from Tanzania. So for some people, like for Nigerians now, you might want to do your NYSC, your youth service. For some people, they just want to go straight after without doing youth service. So they just want to go to graduate school straight. That's also possible. So, but what is important is that if you tick all the boxes, then you can definitely submit that application. There's no, of course, you have your degree, you have your certificates, you have everything with you. As Archibong saying, all the requirements, then you can apply. So there's really no strict rule against that. Oh, okay, maybe you just finish from your undergraduate, you can apply. You can apply as soon as possible. But what is important is you having all the documents. And as Achibong said, passports is important. Other documents are very, very important. And I tell people that if you want to go global, you want to go international, then you have to have a passport because you don't know one opportunity can just come anytime. Especially as young people that is doing something to improve their skills, to improve their knowledge. Getting a passport should be one of the things that you should actually focus on as soon as possible so that, of course, when the opportunity comes, you'll be able to leverage on it. So it is very, very important that you have all the documents ready, your certificate, your transcript, then you can submit your application. But now that you are here, that means that you have been doing a lot of research to have a lot of good clarity on the things that are actually required to apply. So you can apply in your final year, or you can start thinking about the schools and the programs that you want to apply for. Yeah. That's so another question. Or do you have anything you want to add?
Oh, not really.
Okay. So we have another question here. For the Commonwealth shared scholarship that can be used in several schools, we all know that different schools can have different courses. How can one tailor the Commonwealth application essay to suit all? You get that?
I'm laughing because because that's always a challenge. So I think the best thing you can do is identify your courses. You go there on the Commonwealth page. The Commonwealth page shows you which university and which courses are available for you to choose from. Then you start looking at the courses. You note them down, maybe on a piece of paper or on a Word document, that these are the courses I want to apply for. You check what is their similarity, what are their differences. For instance, I want to do, let's say, a master's degree in public health. Just saying. So a master's degree in public health is definitely different from a master's degree in immunology. The
Mm.
personal statement can't be the same. You can't tailor it to be the same. Or someone wants to do gender studies, but in another university, they want to do international development. There's a way you can still tie that personal statement in international development because there are some gender issues in international development. So you see, you have to know similarities, know differences in order to know how to write the personal statement. So your personal statement cannot all look the same because programs are the same. When you are giving your arguments in those programs, in those, let's say, 11 essays for Commonwealth, so you have to write you have to write those different essays. You have to write things in that program that makes you attracted to that program. For instance, in a master's degree in public health now, out in Warwick, I can say, okay, this person, research on this area makes me so interested in this program because they are studying this and this. But for another school, which also has a master's degree in public health, that part of my essay will not be the same because they are not the same schools. So these are things you need to know. So as I say, start early. So you start getting those details down, know their similarities, know their differences, know the ones, the what they call it, the 6 development teams and which ones you are circling around. Because if you are writing different across different themes, I think that's also one of the things you can also rule out that, oh, for instance, I'm focusing on strengthening health systems and capacity theme of Commonwealth. Those courses that are there will definitely revolve around health. Do you get? So it's easier for me to tailor my applications around health related courses that, let's say, public health, global mental health. I can easily tie those things together. But if it's something like, oh, public health, and next I'm going for renewable energy or something engineering, it doesn't really tally. But there are some ways you can still tie them though, but still try to know the similarities and which ones you change in the essays. So I think at ABC is up to you to I think you need to do your own Commonwealth shared scholarship video for the
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah, we are planning that already. So
Okay.
I mean, in my own case, I try to apply to programs that are really, really similar. So I just use the same application, but you have to be very, very careful so that in your Oxford application, they will not be seeing Cambridge inside, or in your Cambridge application, you will not be seeing Nottingham inside. So you have to take your time to edit. But what I did in my own case was that I applied to 4 different schools, and then the programs are actually similar. So it was easy, like a lot more easier for me to be able to do the edit and just change few things and just submit the same application again. So for Commonwealth, you are free to use the same application, but make sure that it is tailored in a way, not that you'll be mentioning Oxford in in a Cambridge application. So you have to make sure that you edit carefully so that that will not happen. I know some people made that mistake. I've seen a lot of people that when they submit the application, they be, oh wow, I made mistake in Oxford application, that person is they'll be seeing Cambridge, and that means that's outright rejection. So that means that you have to start early, you have to edit carefully, so that the program that you're applying to should be similar. If you're applying to global health, apply to another global health program. Just in a way, they are similar in a way that you can use the same essay because you are the same person. Like it's the same you, and it's the same way. Your motivation actually similar. So you have to make sure and try as much as possible to make sure that you tailor your application, and at the same time you can use some aspect of other other aspect of the application. You can use it in for another Commonwealth application in another school, but make sure that you edit it properly to be able to suit the narration that would be useful for that program. Yeah. Because I think Commonwealth in general, based on my own experience, when you're actually filling the form for Commonwealth, they are not really particular about the course because they know that the course is actually similar. It's about your motivation for the program that you're applying to because they are not admission board. Like if you have rejection from the university for your admission, then that means that the Commonwealth is also rejected automatically. So what they're interested in is that you're able to your application actually align with the team that you're applying for, which is in your case might be maybe 8 system strengthening. I think they have 6 developmental teams. Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So they just want to see that you're able to show the narration around that, and you're able to explain why they should give you the funding, and why and what you're going to do to develop Commonwealth. So yeah, so they're not really particular about the course, but what is important there is that you're able to show that the course is useful to you and is going to improve your knowledge to be able to advance the developmental team of Commonwealth. So yeah, I think that's that. And we have another question that what kind of skills and competencies can I gain as a young professional to give me an edge when applying for competitive scholarship?
Okay. What kind of skills? Well, from the way from even typing to ask that question, that is a skill. That is communication. So this is one of the key skills you get as early as possible. Communication is not just telling me to do something or saying, I want this. Communication is actually a very key skill.
Mm.
Communication helps in relationship building, things you need for your references. Remember when we talked about references. So these are things you need to identify from the start. Things like project management. You were in an NGO. Did you support a project or did you manage a project yourself? Did you co-manage a project with someone else? That moves us to teamwork. How do you interact within a team? Can you collaborate well? You say, no, I'm always alone. I like to do my things alone. You like to do your things alone, but life always puts you in teams. From your undergraduate, they like putting you in groups to do assignments. Why do you think that is so? Because we are social creatures. We have to interact with each other. So that teamwork is a skill. And across the team, there are people who stand up to lead the team. That is leadership. Leadership is another skill that is very, very key in your applications. A lot of programs talk about leaders. A lot of programs say, oh, we want you to have leadership experience, doing this or doing that. We want you to maybe show an example where you have led a group, show an example where you had led a community for change or social change, stuff like that. So these are things you need. So those key skills, project management, communication, teamwork, leadership are key, should I say, soft skills. Project management may not really be a soft skill because project management is something that is learned as a hard skill. So at least communication basically is really a soft skill you need to start learning. Others you can try and improve yourself along the way through work experiences and volunteering experiences. So these are things you need to learn that, oh, me as a young professional, these are things I want to know, and this is how I need to get them. So those key skills will help you, you know, push up in your career. Then you have specific skills for each, area you want to focus on. For instance, now I want to major in data science. Why will I be focusing all my efforts on project management, in raising project management competency, when I'm not learning a data science course or finishing Google Data Science on Coursera? I'm now focusing on Google Project Manager. I can't. That's a misplacement of priorities. So these are things you need to know. You want to do public health, for instance. Which public health courses have you taken to understand the competencies in public health? In
Mm.
public health, it's not just one area, by the way. So there are different areas. You want to build competency in sexual and reproductive health, for instance. Which courses, which trainings have you done in sexual and reproductive health that are actually key to the program you want to study? Because there's a place they'll ask you for trainings and courses in most of these scholarship applications. Even in your admission applications, they will ask you for training and courses. Which ones have you done? Which ones have you attended? So they will need to know how that fits
Even if they
in
don't ask, you can put it on your CV.
exactly. Exactly. So this CV something, there's something I wanted to have mentioned in the previous one, was that while you are as an undergraduate, I think that was the first question that was raised. So while as you're an undergraduate, you need to have a CV that records your experiences in each role. It doesn't have to be so nice, and you can edit that as resumes, but you need to have a long CV that's had your experiences from what you have been doing, from volunteering to working, the things you've been doing in that organization, put them down in a CV. That's because human minds forget. But if you have that in a written form, saved in your, let's say, Drive or Google Drive, something like that, you can easily reach out to it and say, oh, this was the last place I stopped in updating this long CV. Let me add another experience that I just got. So these are areas you need to know that, okay, I want to major now in sexual and reproductive health in this my application. I will take parts of that long CV and edit it well in a way that corresponds and pick out activities that I even did from that CV and pick out activities and write it in my Commonwealth essay that this is what I actually did. So those things help while building competency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, as young people, it's always very good to have, I mean, broad skills and as well competencies across different areas that you're interested in. So, for instance, it depends on what you really want to do and what you're interested in. For some people, as Achibong said, you might need to build capacity in a particular area than the other. But what makes you an exceptional applicant for graduate school are your experiences and things that you've done and things that people can say about you and your experiences that you've gathered. And I mean, you can actually gather different experience through different ways. It can be through online courses, it can be through conferences, it can be through you building your research skills, it can be you improving your academic skills. So just continue to improve yourself like all round. And of course, as Ajibong said, have a long list where you document your achievement and things that you've done. Because most of the time we tend to forget because we just think, oh, this thing is small. And just that small thing can be a game changer for your application. Maybe you've taken a particular course that you might think is really small. Oh, this course is just that, just took the course. That course might be something that is defining for your graduate school application. So you have to try as much as possible to document your achievements and continue to improve your skills, continue to improve your knowledge that would make you exceptional in the field that you are focusing on, that where you want to be known for, or where you are focusing on to apply for your graduate school. If it is public health, there's some things that you need to do, of course, improve your skills in public health area, in terms of leadership, in terms of work experience, in terms of research. So in another area, it might be the additional skills that you also need to build. So it is highly dependent on who you are and what you want to become. So just continue to refine your skills, continue to improve your knowledge, continue to improve your exposure, continue to improve your network, have role models, have mentors, people that have achieved similar feats or where you want to see yourself. Look at their journey, look at what they've done, and you can actually learn from that too. So read books about them, watch their like follow them on social media. That would definitely be helpful to you to also know what are the things that you need to do. But remember, you're also not just following everything they are doing. You're also trying to modify your own journey so that you can stay exceptional and you can continue to improve your knowledge and skills in your own way and also in the area that you are interested in. So capacity building is something that is continuous and is personal because some people, what they are interested in is definitely different from what I'm interested in. So you just need to identify what are the things, what are the gaps in your knowledge and skills that you need to fill. And everything is going to be useful when you're applying for graduate school. Remember what Archibald said, most of the time we tend to forget our achievements. So always document them so that when you are writing your application, you will know the best thing that you can put forward. If I'm applying for certain jobs, I don't need to put things that are not relevant to that particular job. So I need to look at my achievement, things that I've done. How can I prepare a very like a strong application that will make me an exceptional applicant for that particular program? So you have to continue to build yourself to be able to have that pool of resources or things that you've done that you can actually pull out from. Like I was looking at my CV one time ago, I was like, I think I have different form where I can show my experience. I can show my experience as a pharmacist. I can show my experience as a researcher, as an epidemiologist. I can show my experience as a leader. So it depends on different areas that you build yourself. Just continue to add to yourself, continue to improve your experience, continue to improve your exposure. And of course, it will only get better. That's the most important thing. It will definitely get better. So that's what I have to say in addition to what Archibald said. So we have questions. Archibald, do you see have our time?
How many questions are left?
Uh, I think we have like one, two, three, about three questions.
3 questions. Okay, let me see if I can answer that before 5:30 because I need to drop out by then.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I
Thank you.
think we'll need to be a bit fast then.
Yeah. So can I eat the university or a particular department to express my desire to a particular program? This person is asking, can he message the department to express his desire in their program?
Mm, that's tricky though, but why would you want to message them if they have everything online? Because if they have everything online, it's just like people that write, I'm interested when you post a scholarship link. Why are you posting, I'm interested? Why are you emailing them? These are busy professors, busy doctors who don't even read. Even if it's the admission office, why would you even message the admission office for that? Except it's something specific that you're trying to ask. Don't waste people's time on your journey. Learn that other people are busy with other things. This is why when people say no to you, you get upset. Why am I not given access? But
Mm,
access is not gotten on a platter of gold. Access is built. So
mm,
things like this can help you know that, oh, I've gotten everything I need online. Especially the UK now, a lot of universities, they detail everything, course
their websites.
requirements, funding. They have it like headings on their
Exactly.
websites. Even former students' information as like testimonials, so that you can reach out to this former student and say, "Oh, please, can you help me with my maybe to review my personal statement since you had an idea of the program, or even have a chat with one of the former students, but not someone in the department because sometimes you'll never get any response. So I don't know what you need to add to that, DBC.
Yeah, I mean, all the information online on the website. But if you need additional insight, maybe you can send email to the course director. But
Yeah,
in most university, like the website is well detailed with everything that you need to
details.
know in terms of scholarship, in terms of opportunity that they have for you, in terms of the admission process. It is detailed. Like I assure you that. So yeah. So my supervisors retired earlier in the year. Can he still be my referee?
Has your supervisor's degree been taken from him? No, if your supervisor's degree has not been
Mm,
taken from him, why not? He's still your ex-supervisor. He's still an academic per
right.
se. Even though he has retired, he's still an academic. That's why they have things like emeritus. So even though he has retired, up to that point where he supervised you, he was still in the academic. So why not put him as your
Right.
academic supervisor? If they need something, let's say, much more recent, you can get someone else in your department and also include his name that, oh, while he was my supervisor, but this person also can have something to say about your own achievements to make your application stronger. So that's why you need to reach out to a lot of people, not just having one person one person at the end of the day. So in case of uncertainty, so reach out to a lot of people and meet them so that they can give you those references and recommendations you need.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it from even if they have retired, you can still get your letter from him or her. So it's not a problem. Thank you very much, Achibong. So most of the prestigious university prefer students with the upper class. I mean, first class. Is there any hope for the rest apart from the upper class to this prestigious university?
So this is how you people start creating tensions in academia. No, academia, what matters at the end of the day is your competency. What can I do? Yes, some scholarships say we want 2-1. Some universities say we want 2-1. A university says we want 2-1. Are they the only prestigious university? That's what you should ask yourself. What defines a prestigious university for you? Is it just because of their ranking? Have you actually checked the program? Have you actually reached out to students who have graduated from that department to know if it's the right environment for you to grow? Because we are talking about things that happen afterwards your degree. The place of your personal statements, the last paragraph or two, you write things
Thank you
that
very much.
happen after your
So most
degree.
of the prestigious university.
Sorry, it's like I'm echoing. I don't know.
No, continue.
Okay, so it happens like that, that you need to think about your career. Can that place also support my career afterwards? My course director during my master's sent applications, sent references out also for me for jobs
Hmm.
and also for this PhD. So
Wow.
these are things you also need to think about. It doesn't have to be prestigious, like maybe I think you're talking about ranking, but I don't think that prestigiousness, if I may put that word, should affect you in getting other universities. Other universities accept as low as 2-2, some even third class. They say some just say any degree as long as you have the relevant experience. So what are you waiting for? Just check the application portal and know which ones you choose. I think
Thank
we
you
still
very
have,
much.
yeah, we still
Yeah,
have
I
some
mean,
time before
yeah,
5:30. So
yeah. I mean, Archibald has actually nailed that. It's not about university being prestigious. It's about the support. It's about your the program being a good fit for you. So look at the program. Is it that is it that what you really want? Is it the content that they're going to like the course content? Is that what you really want? Is that what you really want to build capacity in? So it's not about being prestigious, it's about what you want to get from the program and the kind of support that they're going to provide to you. So most I agree with you, most prestigious universities they are actually about I don't think it's possible for you to get into Oxford with a very low grade.
oh,
It's
great.
actually
Yeah,
it's
it's not
almost
possible.
impossible. But there are other schools that are willing to
Yeah.
welcome you and support you as well. So look for program that fits the profile or things that you think your grade. Because schools like Oxford, schools like Harvard, I don't think they can actually accept someone with maybe third class or maybe pass. So, but what's there are other programs that are willing to support you and nurture you. So do that research to know the kind of program. I have a video on my channel that actually detail what you can do if you have a very low grade and you still want to pursue graduate school. Thank you very much, Achibong. We have another question. I think this is the last question. Does leadership has to do with being the head of a group? Can it also be a form of impacting the society in an important way without leading?
So leadership leadership is even a research area for a lot of people. So
Exactly.
what terms leadership? Leadership is when something transforms. That's why we have transformative leadership as a recommendation for today and a lot of workplaces. So
Mm,
are you transforming something? Or are you just leaving it the way it was when you saw it? So that's why it doesn't matter whether it's a group, whether it's in the community, whether it was only you that was standing at the forefront, or whether you were the one that just led maybe a writing document, like for instance, like a policy brief to tell your state government that this is the issue at hand. You know,
yeah.
it doesn't need you to stand up and have mic and say, I am the leader of this group. No, no, no. Leadership takes many forms.
Mm,
Leadership can also be support to your team members. How
right.
were you able to support your team members in, delivering a task? You may not have been the leader of that group, but the way you write it, someone feels like, "Ah, why did they even need an extra leader? This person was the leader of the group by just the way you wrote it. That this is how you provided support to your team members. This is how you listening skills. That's why I say listening. Some team members have conflicts with each other. How were you able to resolve the conflicts? You didn't have to be a high-ranking leader of the organization to solve the conflicts by just actively listening and having that mediation with those team members. It's leadership. It has to do with transforming. So let it be a transformative process. You didn't leave the stuff as you came and saw it. You left it in a better way and you made impacts. Over
Uh,
to you,
thank,
David.
thank you very much, Akivo, for that. I mean, leadership, you the question that you asked actually gave like a context for the traditional definition of leaders. So for you to be a leader, that doesn't mean that maybe you have to be heading a particular group. It's about impact. It's about what you do to change the way things are. It's about the things that you do basically to change the way we do things, the way we approach things, the way we make impact. So it's not about you being maybe the head of an organization or you leading some group of people. Is more than that. So you just do little things actually counts as impact. Maybe you notice something in your community and you want to talk about it to do awareness or raise awareness about that thing. you are a leader for doing that thing that is transforming the way we do things, that is making impact in that particular context. So thank you very much, Archibald, for your time. I mean, everyone here, they are so grateful, very educative. Thank you so much for this session. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Archibald.
Yeah,
So
you're
they are
welcome.
also very grateful for your time, and for your support. I mean, we don't take it for granted. So thank you very much. I know you are very, very busy, but you still make out time to. So Archibong is a leader just for something like this, because he made out time to make impact, to communicate his experiences with you all. So that's a form of leadership. So you don't have to be maybe one president somewhere that is commanding things. No. So thank you very much, Archibong. We are so grateful. And we hope that
Okay.
when we call you next time, you are going to find time for us. Thank you very much.
Hopefully.
And see you some other time.
Okay. See you
All
soon
right.
at ABC.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye.